Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start our geography's revision with chapter number 12, our environment. Dear students, in this chapter we will discuss about our environment, what is our environment, what is the component of environment, which type of parts are also in environment, or all that thing we will discuss in this chapter. Dear students, our environment is chapter number 12 and part of a geography, and geography's first chapter is this one. Please open the page number 80. All the things present around us together constitute our environment, means whatever nearby us, whatever surrounded us, that thing create our environment. Favorable environment is very much required for the sustenance of the life on the earth. The term environment comes from the French word environner. The environment word comes from the French word environner, and that environner word means the surround. What the means of environner? Surround means whatever surrounded you, that makes your environment. It is used to describe everything such as places, things, people, nature, etc. It also includes things created by human beings. In environment, we can say that whatever made by human beings, that also included in this one. Geography deals with various components of the environment. It also studies the interrelationship between the human beings and the environment. Means that interaction between the human beings and the environment. On the basis of origin, geographical elements can be broadly classified into two groups: natural elements and the human-made elements. If we talk about geographical elements, then we have to divide into two parts: natural elements and the human-made elements. Natural elements means such as the mountains, which whatever made by nature, that is known as natural elements, such as mountains, rivers, vegetation, animals, etc. are created by nature. This is called natural environment. If anyone asks you about the natural environment, then you have to say that the natural elements such as mountains, rivers, vegetation, animals, etc. are created by nature. That is known as natural environment, and it includes the biotic and abiotic components also. Biotic component, if we talk about them, then plants and animals, and the abiotic components means the rivers and many type of mountains or something like that, soil and all that thing will be in abiotic component. The human-made elements such as the agriculture, industry, settlements, means of transport, etc. are created by human beings. Therefore, all these things are together called human-made environment. We can say that whatever environment made by human, means whatever structure, whatever monument, whatever of the environment created by human being, and that thing is known as the human-made environment. Dear students, now we will talk about natural environment. What is natural environment? The natural environment consists of the both biotic and abiotic component. Natural environment. If we talk about natural environment, then in this one, biotic and abiotic, both are included. If we talk about biotic, then you have to say that plants and animals are in biotic, and if we talk about the abiotic, then you have to include soil, air and water. Natural environment is divided into two parts: biotic and abiotic component. In biotic component, we have to say that plants and animals are there, and abiotic component, soils, air and water are included in this thing. And the four major domains of the earth are lithosphere. If we talk about the four major domains of the earth, four major domains of earth. First one is lithosphere, second one is here hydrosphere, third one is here biosphere, and last one is atmosphere. students, at first we will talk about lithosphere. First one. Dear students, lithosphere means is the outer layer of the earth on which we live. Means wherever we are now, wherever our house or buildings are made, that thing is known as lithosphere. It is made up of the rocks and some places it is covered with soil. The term lithosphere means rocky crust. Lithosphere means rocky crust part, means on whichever we are live today. After that, made of rocks and minerals, the uppermost part of the lithosphere forms a thin layer of the soil. We can watch that the topsoil is being there on lithosphere only. The irregular and rocky lithosphere extends both our continents and ocean basins, as such as mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, etc. are also founded on lithosphere only. If we talk about hydrosphere, then hydrosphere refers to the presence of water in all its forms. Means in whichever form water is being there, that is known as hydrosphere, like lake, ocean, river, well, or whatever. You have to ponds or something like that. That is known as the hydrosphere. Water supports all forms of life. We already know that without water we couldn't survive, and it is a major part of the earth. Fresh water is available on the land through the process of water cycle. Now we will discuss about biosphere. Dear students, biosphere means the narrow zone where the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere meet the interact with each other. Means wherever that thing, all 1, 2 and 3 are made there, that's completely connected with this one also, with this one also, and with this one also. Means biosphere is connected with lithosphere also, hydrosphere also, and atmosphere also. We can say that it is the narrow zone wherever the atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere interact, that the biosphere will be there. The narrow zone where the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere meet the interact is called biosphere. The word biosphere comes from the Greek word. Bios means the life and Latin word sphera means the total range. This sphere supports life and it is called as the living world. Now we will talk about atmosphere. Means what is atmosphere or how is it? Atmosphere is the layer of the air surrounding the earth. Means if we talk about us, then we are surrounded by the air and all that things. Our earth is also surrounded by it. So its exact thickness is unknown. The atmosphere is held to the earth by a force of gravity. The atmosphere contains life-giving oxygen for human beings and animals, and carbon dioxide to plants. After that, ecosystem. All the organisms in particular environment interact with each other. They are also interdependent. They also interact with their physical environment. Means when the plants interact with animals, and that type of physical interaction is known as the ecosystem. If we talk about human environment, then that type of environment is made by human only. That is known as the human environment. And if human is interact with the environment personally, that is known as the human environment interaction. And environmental pollution is created by humans. Nowadays, the whole world is facing various problems due to technological and scientific development. And one hand, overpopulation, urbanization, and on one hand, overpopulation, urbanization, industrialization on the other. Environmental pollution is the result of the unplanned and unwise use of technology. Because now in this many types of technology is also going to be used. Because of that, we are facing many types of problems now in this. Dear students, it's about our environment. We can say that environment is a word whichever made by the French word known as environment. Environment means surrounded, means whatever surrounded by us, that is known as environment. Means whatever nearby you now at this time, that is known as your environment. And that's completely divided into two parts: natural environment and human made environment. If we talk about natural environment, then it's divided into two parts: biotic component and abiotic component. If we talk about biotic component, then it is divided into two parts: plants and animals are there in biotic component, and abiotic component, there is soil, air and water is in abiotic component. If we talk about human made environment, then that is completely made by humans, like bridges, roads, buildings, many types of other structures also made by humans, that is known as human environment. If we talk about four major domains of the earth, then there are lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere and atmosphere. Lithosphere is the rocky crust on which we are lying now, and the roads and many types of bridges or something like that created, that is known as lithosphere. It is the rocky crust part of our earth, and it's covered with sometimes topsoil also. Hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means water part. Whatever water part in our earth, like in the form of the ocean, sea, river, lakes, ponds, that is known as hydrosphere. And biosphere is a narrow zone wherever the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere all are meet together. That place is known as biosphere. If we talk about atmosphere, atmosphere means a narrow zone wherever the complete air and other gases are there. That is known as atmosphere, and it is there because of the Earth's gravity. So we can say that it is the important four major domains part of our Earth. And if we talk about human environmental, then we can say that it is the made by human only. Human environment interaction. Then when human is start to interact with environment, means whatever nearby him, that is known as human environment interaction. Because now in these days we can say that population is goes to arise, and many type of deforestation and other chemical process or chemical industries also going to set up, and because of that our environment is going to completely polluted, and that type of thing is known as the human environment interaction, because it is completely dependent on our life and it is completely abolished the nature and the environment. It is a completely, we can say that, affect our environment. Because of that it is known as environmental pollution also. It is important that all of us to understand and learn to live the use of environment in a harmonious way. Only then will be a nature be maintained. If you want to survive on the completely healthy nature, then you have to stop to interact with the environment in the negative way, and you have to set up the industries outside of the cities, and you have to afforestation for that thing. Then our environment may be clear, and we have to use proper personally we can say that you can able to taking pure gases or something like that. Dear students, it's about the our environment chapter. I hope you understand this chapter. Thank you.